जो सामान्य व्यक्ति हवाई चप्पल पहन करके घूमता है वो मुझे हवाई जहाज में दिखना चाहिए, ये मेरा सपना है।
We work in park.
Out in the ground.
Out in the ground, because we were going and working in a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Then they were just kicking us out like, okay, the coffee is over, now you need to go out. Struggle of that startup, because we were with a very limited money, right. That time. Very, very limited money. We were sitting even in the park, right? So the caretaker of the park, they were like, what these guys are doing here? What these boys and girls are doing here. So you know that mentality of the people, right?
On one side, there's passion of solving a problem, but then passion doesn't feed us, right? So I would want to understand Refundme's business model.
Okay, so we work on no. Actually, we both said the statement, yeah, let's do it together. So it was like a both at one phrase, let's do it together.
What is the time duration from the claim request being raised till the claim or the money actually hitting the customer's bank account?
We take it as a 3-month.
90 days.
90 days, yeah. So our first claim which we settled through the company was with Indigo Airline, and we settled it within 7 days. In India, I personally really believe that this sector needs reformation.
Have you ever lost a business deal or missed attending an important event because of flight delay or the flight is overbooked? Did you know you're supposed to get compensation in this scenario? This is exactly where Refundme comes in. Today on the show, we have Akanksha Anshu, who's the CEO and founder of Refundme. She has bootstrapped this company and served about 1.5 million customers across 47 countries. Let's dive in with her and understand how and why she started Refundme and understand the business model in detail. Stay tuned and let's welcome Akanksha Anshu onto the show. Hi Akanksha.
Thank you, Pradeep, for calling me here, and yeah, thank you so much.
So Akanksha, you're building this Refundme, right? What is this Refundme all about? What refund are you going to get to people like me?
Okay, so pretty straightforward. So Refundme is a first flyers compensation management company from India serving the world.
Wow, from India serving the world.
Yes.
Can you elaborate more on this? What exactly do you mean from India serving the world?
So we are bringing export to our country.
Mm-hmm.
So how it works, like we process the claim
Okay.
from across the globe, not just for the Indian air travelers,
Okay.
but for the global travelers, air
Right.
travelers.
Right.
So we also serve for the EU 269 compensation, we serve for the Canadian regulation, we serve for the Brazil, for Saudi Arabia, and so on.
Right. So can you help us explain Refundme's exact business model? What is the problem that you're solving for the global market?
Okay, so we are the first AI-enabled claim compensation management company, as I said.
Okay.
So what happened when your flight get cancelled, the delay, and there's a denied boarding?
Right.
You are entitled to get the compensation which is on top of your flight refund
Okay.
or the alternate arrangement.
Sure. Sure.
So the most of the people, they confuse the word refund with compensation.
Right. Right.
So we are here talking about the compensation which is on top of the refund or the alternate
So,
arrangement.
which means, let's say I'm traveling to New York from Hyderabad, right? So I booked my flight and then there is say some sort of a cancellation or delay in the flight, right? Now you're saying I would be getting let's say if it is a cancellation, I would be getting entire amount back plus compensation because of the cancellation. Is that what you mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But there are certain guidelines which says that what is the duration of cancellation? It means that when airline has informed you about the cancellation.
Sure.
Right? So there are certain regulations in between, but yes, you are entitled to get the compensation.
Quite an interesting
So
problem.
let me give you one very interesting example. So let's suppose you are flying from New Delhi to New York.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Even though US do not have a regulatory framework for the compensation, but let's suppose your flight is via Frankfurt.
Right.
Right? So you are touching the European land.
Correct.
right?
Correct.
In that way, let's suppose your flight is delayed by 3 hours or more, you are entitled to get the compensation of 600 euro.
Oh. So
Even if it is delayed by 3 hours and 5 minutes.
we are not even speaking of cancellation. We are speaking of delay.
Yes, yes.
What if it is cancellation?
If it is a cancellation, again 600 euro you will get the
So
compensation.
1200 euros.
No, not the 1200 euro. So either you can claim for delay or there is a cancellation.
Acha, either of it.
Yeah, either of
Okay.
it. But any flight cannot be delay and cancellation, right? It's always either
Acha.
cancellation or it's a delay.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Quite an interesting problem. So you brought in Europe in between, and you didn't speak of India or US. So do you say that in India and US this is not there? The claim regulation.
So in India there is a regulation, but regulation is more for the domestic travelers flights,
Okay.
right? Not for the international one.
Acha.
And it also depends, like sometimes it happens that you are eligible to claim the compensation from 2 or 3 different jurisdictions.
Okay.
Right. But then we see where passenger can get the maximum compensation. And then accordingly we apply for it.
Okay. If I remember, I was traveling to Chennai for one of the client meetings, and that was a business deal. The flight was delayed by, I think, roughly 5 hours. So, what is that supposed?
So, in that case, probably you will get the refreshment.
Refreshment.
Yes,
Okay.
the food.
Okay.
Because you are staying at the airport. You are at airport. So, how the Indian regulation is framed, it's bit different from the rest of the world.
Okay.
Okay. So, like the rest of the world has a compensation calculated based on the distance travel,
Okay.
the travel distance and the duration
Okay.
of the flight.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Now, in India, it is different.
Okay.
In India, the amount is subject to your base fare and your fare surcharge, fuel surcharge.
Okay.
Right? And
Okay.
then the other costs are involved. So, for an Indian traveler to claim compensation, it is very important then they understand their fare breakup also.
All right.
Right? And then it also depends upon the duration, which is in terms of the block time or certain other things. So, it's pretty complicated than the other countries.
Oh, okay. What if I was in Europe and this same scenario happened? What would
you could have claimed almost like 250 or 400 euro.
Whoa.
Yes.
So US does the same rule apply for US also? And does US market have this regulation?
No, currently US market do not have this regulation, but yes, Canada have.
Canada has
that, yes. And the second and the important part is that for many traveler who is traveling to US but via Europe,
right,
or via Canada or
right,
or Brazil, right?
Right.
So they are automatically eligible for the compensation in case of such disruptions.
Got it. So Akanksha, let me take a step back here and dive deeper back into the pain points of the travelers, right? I want to know a little more about you. You are a founder of 2 companies. Even before getting into details of those companies, why don't you give us a walkthrough of your background? Where are you from? And how did this entrepreneurship come into you? Instead of taking up a job, you chose the other side of it, right? Why and how and where are you from?
Okay, so quite interesting journey I have. So I'm born in Sitamarhi. It's a birthplace of goddess Sita.
Wow.
So you can say that the feminine power is something which is in my DNA.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. And then I am from a family of barristers and lawyers.
Okay.
Okay, so that has again, so I keep saying, like if you are willing to do anything, the universe starts shaping you in that way, right?
Get that, yeah.
So they have a plan. So I believe that they were nurturing me since my birth.
Right.
To take this path.
Awesome.
I believe that way.
Okay.
So being a child, like I always thought like I was very particular about like talking to the people. I love talking to the people, exploring their different cultures,
Right.
their pains, their happiness, and so on.
Right.
And through that, during childhood, like I wanted to be a journalist because in my mind it was somewhere that being a journalist, I have a power to raise that voice
Okay.
against certain things which is which may seem smaller,
Right.
but it has a bigger impact,
Get that. Okay.
right?
Okay.
So I always thought like, okay, it can be done through a journalism,
Sure.
right? And where in my childhood the kids were very fond of Shaktiman and Captain Vyom,
Correct. Correct.
right?
Yeah.
I was the one who was just mad and crazy about my news from India and even from Nepal. So that was,
Okay.
that was an era of antenna shifting,
Correct.
not the cable connection. I'm talking when I
Okay.
was very young, like
Which year was this?
I believe 97,
Okay. Okay.
97, 98, right?
Sure.
So, and then I say that I'm an accidental engineer. I have taken admission in journalism, but because of the color I have, the skin color and the tone I have,
Oh.
so people start talking about that, right? Though my childhood was not so good in terms of that, I have been thrown out of many dance programs in the school just because of my color. So, and
Wow.
I wanted to just break that stereotype, though my parents, they never bother about this.
Yeah.
But then when I have taken admission in journalism, so that was the point when the family, friends, they reached out to my dad and said, oh, why he had chosen this, right? and
Right.
all.
Right.
So my dad, he came to Delhi and he said like, beta,
Yeah.
आप जर्नलिस्ट बाद में भी बन सकते हो पर इंजीनियर आप बाद में नहीं बन पाओगे.
Okay.
And that was the thing which strikes me,
Right.
right?
Right.
So he has a point, right?
Get that.
And the thing is that my dad has asked for the very first time
Okay.
to do anything,
Yeah.
right?
Otherwise,
So
he's been
otherwise
there.
he's been fine with whatever I was doing,
Got it.
right?
Got it.
So I decided, okay, let's take that. But even that time I was not so happy with that.
Okay.
But yeah, eventually when I get into the engineering college, when I started talking to the people there, when I started taking the classes there, I felt, oh, I can do a lot more with my engineering also. Because
Right.
my objective was not to become a journalist.
Got that.
I'm never behind a designation,
Sure.
right? I was also behind that solving problem
Get that. Okay.
wala thought process, right?
Sure. Sure.
So that is how it started.
Yeah.
And during my engineering college, what happened, like we have a 6 month of industrial training.
Okay.
Okay, so and you know how engineering college and the industrial training works.
Get that. Yeah.
So that was the time I was introduced with this LinkedIn.
Okay.
So huge thanks to LinkedIn, by the way, because that has given me a very great platform that time. I reached out to the companies
Mm-hmm.
through LinkedIn.
Right.
And one of my friend, he's my best friend, by the way, he was a kind of a mentor then.
Okay.
His name is Ambrish. He
Okay.
is also from IIM.
Okay.
And he was motivating me a lot to, okay, you go ahead with the LinkedIn, you post it there and all,
Right.
right? So that way I got like my first internship to the Bangalore based company. So
Okay.
I was very sure that if not journalism and engineering, then let's go to Bangalore.
Okay.
And I have given campus placements even in Delhi,
Sure.
because I was not interested in staying in Delhi that
Right.
time.
So you were very clear that Bangalore
So
is something that you want to go.
Yeah. And I'm a very picky person. Like I'll not go behind like what I cannot do or let what all I can do. No.
Right.
I'll just pick what I can do and I will finish that.
Get that. Okay.
Right. I don't want divergence.
Right.
I don't know why, but this is who I am
Sure.
actually. And then after completing my engineering, when I have seen the culture in that office, I felt that there is lots to learn.
Okay.
And even during my college days, we were working on certain security workshops and all.
Right.
So that entrepreneurial mindset started from there.
Right.
And even I have seen my mother working for an NGO as a training and implementation officer
Sure.
in her local area,
Right.
and helping that. So that has also given me like, okay, so I can change something through entrepreneurship.
Awesome.
But then that was the time when entrepreneurship was not so famous.
Right.
And the another thing is that I wanted to learn every single thing what is important to build a company.
Okay.
And in startup is the best place to learn.
Right, absolutely.
Right.
I've been a startup person myself. If you look at my LinkedIn profile, I've largely worked with companies who are just starting up, and I have seen the journey of 0 to 1, 0 to 100. In fact, one of the companies that I work with, I have stayed with them from the start till the exit. Company got acquired and all of
Wow.
that. Yeah. So I always see myself as a startup specialist, and that kind of helps me when I now started my own company, PowerUp, right, where we kind of help other companies on the marketing front and revenue generation part of it. So yeah, happy for that startup ecosystem.
Yeah. And you know, that has also saved my career and the way I think even today.
Right.
You know, so there is one very interesting incident which happened there, and that had changed and shifted me as in to an entrepreneur. Even that time I was working for some other company.
Oh,
So what
nice.
happened, like I was very young.
Right.
I was a kind of a intern there.
Sure.
Right.
Right.
And then I was like, I'm a person, I cannot sit khali.
Sure.
I need a work to do.
Right.
I
Right.
cannot just sit and chill.
Yeah.
And I believe that there they were giving me a work which was of a very less duration.
Okay.
So I was just finishing my work in just 2-3 hours, and then I was knocking the door of every managers or
Right.
the CEO and all. Hey, okay, can you
This is
please give
over.
me some work? My
This is
work
over
is done.
and I want
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, exactly. And then I have created a culture where I started working with the business development managers working there.
Awesome.
I was preparing their presentation. I was giving the client demo. I was even started contributing, to the programming of the people, the security of that company, because my core work was
Right.
that.
Right.
And then I started drafting, the project documentation, because
Oh.
nobody was focusing on the project documentation.
Sure.
So they were just taking the requirement from the client and started coding there.
Understood.
Okay.
Right.
So I said, okay, you do not have to pay me for this. Let me
Help you out.
help you out
Right.
with the detailed documentation and the logic building.
So you're basically helping them on SOP building in a way.
Exactly. And
Right.
everything. And then followed by the contract drafting also.
Awesome. Wow.
Right? Because I come from a lawyer's background,
Lawyer's
so
background, yeah.
it was also very interesting for me. And if
Right.
I just get stuck somewhere, I call to my dad, oh dad, this is something is in
Hmm.
the wording, like do you think I need to tweak it somewhere
Yeah.
or that? So that has helped me. And then what happened, one day I was working on a Akbar travel project,
Okay.
and there was a business manager there, Amit.
Okay.
So I believe he was on holiday for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly client visited to the office.
Okay.
He was perfectly fine with the documentation, the product deployment, delivery, everything.
Right.
But when he saw like a little girl working on the project
Oh.
without understanding the
Business.
knowledge of that person, what the person can do, he started making like, whoa, how can you charge this much money, and you can put a small like a entry level resource on my project.
Right.
We are
Right.
paying this much. A typical Indian client, you can
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Right. And then it happened, like even Amit, he's a very good friend of mine, but that time he said, Akanksha, you should not have to reveal this, that you are working on this project.
Okay. Okay.
And I felt somewhere like, why not?
Why
Come
not?
on.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
working on the project. I'm the one who has drafted the architecture.
Right.
right? Then why should
I not.
what is the need to hide my identity?
Fair point. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I straight went to my CEO. I said, I was crying. I said, sir, this is not working out. I mean, how I need to close my own deals.
Right.
I want to work with the client. And what he did, like he thought like he's sad. And I start reminding it to him every other day.
Okay.
So he has given me some dead lead.
Oh.
Okay. So the idea was that he will not come and disturb me.
समझ गया. Yeah.
Okay?
Understood. Yeah.
So what I did, I have taken, but see, I'm a person that even you make fun of me,
Right.
I'll take it very positively.
Right. Makes sense. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's how you have to have that positive mindset.
Yeah. So I never think in that way that somebody is making fun of me.
Yeah.
Or somebody is just trying to console me and trying to engage me.
Got
so
that.
Instead of seeing that way, even
Right.
though my other business manager said like, oh, these are the dead leads he has given you and all these things.
Oh.
I was having a pure belief, no, he cannot do this with me.
Okay.
So you know how the belief work here. He cannot do this with me, right?
Right.
He believed that you cannot close it, but I can close it.
Right. Fair point. Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Very good.
And I
Yeah.
did within 2 days, I closed 2 deals, and that is of a double of the amount,
Wow.
right? And then even I drafted the contract because it was already with me.
Yeah.
I sent it to the client. I raised the invoice,
Right.
everything. And then I went to my CEO. Sir, can you please sign this? And he was like,
Wow.
not wow. He was that time like he has taken a step back.
Okay.
And he said, Akanksha, please sit and explain me how you have how
How did you go about closing it? Yeah.
Yeah, closing it, how you have analyzed the price structure, the time duration. Do you really understand? Because that was the time he was not aware that I am the one who is helping these business managers.
Right. Fair point. Yeah.
Right? So he and I said, okay, so this many duration, these many man hours I need to develop this program, this piece of code. Then I have added the office ka cost, the coffee and tea ka cost. So I
Right.
have a proper Excel sheet for everything.
Awesome. Okay.
Right? He was amazed to see this.
The kind of detailing that you went to, office ka chai wala cost also.
Yeah, exactly.
Then that's going to the minutest detail
Exactly.
of it.
Electricity ka bill. Printing ka bill.
Right.
So I went to every department.
Sure.
I noted down the price.
Yeah.
Right. So one is the resource ka cost and another is this extra cost.
Correct. Yeah.
The sitting cost which we
Absolutely.
say.
Fixed cost you generally have. Yeah.
Sitting cost, fixed cost, what do you say? So he was very amazed. And then he asked me, okay, tell me this, like, are you really going to deploy it in with this time? I said, yes, of course. Even I
Right.
can finish it like in 5-6 days prior to it. I have just taken it like so that client, I'm not sure if client is ready to test it within those time duration.
Right.
So this is for the time, for the client, not for our team.
Right. Fair
And
point.
then he asked me, okay, so do you really think the client is going to pay you 80% in advance? Which is almost 18,000 euro.
Oh.
Right, that time. And I said, yes, he will.
Right. You already convinced by then.
Yeah. And I said, I just need to send this contract ka copy and the invoice. Client has committed that he will pay in next 3 to 4 hours.
Right.
And the client luckily did it.
Awesome.
And that was the time once I closed this, my confidence was like here. Okay, like
Right.
I was so happy about it, and I said, okay, just give me the lead now.
Awesome.
Okay, and from there I have never seen back life.
So from there, what happened?
So from there I started getting my own team.
Within the same
yeah,
organization.
they have given me a free hand to interview tech team, to hire them, right? So there was a situation where I was running a mini office inside my office.
Awesome.
Okay.
Right.
So, and I'm very thankful to the previous company CEO for believing in me. Even when I, yeah, and the what you said, like your flight was delayed by 5 hours, right?
Right.
And then you have missed the opportunity.
Yeah.
The same thing happened with me, and it
Oh.
had changed my life.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened in 2014? My
Right.
flight from Patna to Bangalore
Okay.
was cancelled.
Oh.
And that was a last minute cancel. And it was a time of Deepavali and Chhat Puja. Chhat Puja is how important it is for us, right?
Right.
And not just important, that is the time when you will not get the flight so easily.
Right. Lot of rush across.
Lot of rush.
Yeah.
And I was also preparing for a client meeting
Sure.
from last 4 months.
4 months.
Yeah. And like
Should be a big ticket client
big
then.
ticket client, of
Yeah,
course, a big
yeah,
ticket
yeah.
client. And client was visiting India, and he has a particular duration.
Oh. So
to
your
stay.
appointment was already fixed.
Already fixed. And I was so like, what is this? This was a big opportunity for me.
Right.
And while I was thinking about these things and roaming, like to find a right person to communicate and find another flight, I heard a voice of a young guy, like almost 17, 18 years. And he was literally desperate about getting the flight. He was crying. And when I approached him, I talked to him, I got to know that his parents were sick and in hospital.
Okay.
And actually that was a connecting flight from Kolkata to Bangalore. And he has to travel till Kolkata. Oh, that was the time I realized, wait a minute, Akanksha.
Right.
It's not just your problem. You are not the only one who is suffering.
Correct.
There are other 230 passengers.
Right.
Right? And when I look back, I felt like, nahi, this is not going to work out. But at that time, I was aware that Europe has certain regulation.
Oh, you were already aware?
I was already aware.
Okay.
But I was not aware that India also has certain regulations.
Okay.
And I start digging down, like, okay, is there any regulation and all?
Right.
And after my deep research, I figured out, yes, India has that.
Awesome. Okay.
And that time, the maximum compensation amount was of 4,000 INR.
Highest side.
Right.
Okay.
Then it became 8,000 INR. And then today it's 20,000 INR.
Okay.
So when it started, it was 4,000.
So when you mean compensation, you mean flight ticket plus this one?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
If it is cancelled?
If it is cancelled.
Okay.
Right.
So I let's say I've paid about 10,000 rupees for my flight ticket. So I get this 10,000 plus 20,000 on top of it. So 30,000 in total I should be getting.
Right. But the calculation mechanism is for 20,000 is not exactly 20,000, right? You can get.
Okay.
It is up to 20,000.
Oh.
So that depends upon your base fare.
Okay.
And fuel surcharge.
Okay.
Right. So the point is that
now how do
time.
Sorry to interrupt. As a passenger, how do I even get to know those details?
That's quite an interesting question, right?
Yeah.
It is really difficult.
Right.
It is really difficult.
Right.
And not only that, the first point was that for me is it really a problem, or it happened like once in a while, right?
Right.
So what I did, I started traveling during Sundays. So I used to book my flight for a shorter durations, just Bangalore to Hyderabad, Hyderabad to Chennai, Chennai to Bangalore, Bangalore to some other places, like nearby places.
Get that.
Right?
Yeah.
And that during the off season, peak season, so that I understand the behavior of the air passenger.
Right.
I started writing it down, right?
Yeah.
What happened when they suffers.
Right.
If someone has to travel for their trip and their hotels are planned and all.
Right.
So the story you will hear, you'll start crying. There were the people who has saved their lifetime earnings.
Okay.
Just to fly once.
Wow.
And then just imagine if their flight get cancelled at the last moment.
That's a shit.
Yes.
That's a shit.
Yes.
Nobody would want to experience that.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And when you'll hear their story, I still get that like tears in my eyes
Wow.
because their stories were so painful.
Okay.
Right? It's a really when our Prime Minister says Hawai chappal se Hawai jahaj ki yatra, he really mean it.
Right.
He know how we Indians are with our emotions.
Right. Right.
So that has forced me to work around it. And then in 2016, I decided I was having a couple of choices.
So when you were researching, you're still working with an organization.
Right.
Okay.
I was working with
So
the
you were
organization.
working, and on the weekends you're spending time on this part of it. Okay.
Right. And I was just preparing all the data. And one thing is very important, that the data has a power to narrate the story.
Right.
Right? It's a speaking, it speaks. So when I've seen that in 2008, it was 4,000 INR as a maximum compensation. Now it is 8,000, right? The number of air passenger traveling even in India is growing exponentially.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It will definitely increase. There is no reason that any government will come and take this back.
Get that. Okay. Yeah.
Right? And even I promised like to certain people that just mark my word, it is going to be double in next couple of years.
Right.
2 to 3 years. But we were lucky that we got registration in July 18, 2016.
Okay.
And in August, the new passenger, it was revised, the passenger regulation. And India became the country where we have a 20,000 INR ka maximum compensation.
Awesome.
So
within a year's time, you got to see that change.
Yeah.
And then you were behind it, or it happened without your effort?
No, that time we just launched the company in 2016 July.
Right.
We got registration.
Yeah.
But then in 2016 August, we get a new and updated version with 20,000 INR as a maximum compensation amount.
So the problem that you were trying to solve, or you were working towards, was actually sort of revised by government without your involvement.
Right.
Get that. Okay.
So it shows that there is a product market fit.
Yeah.
It's not just the me.
Right.
The government is also feeling the need of it.
Right. Yeah.
So that has given me the another level of confidence which I've seen, because when I thought like, let's start the company.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was discussing it with the people around me, so everyone like, oh, you are crazy.
Okay.
That was not exactly an era of a startup. There were few startups coming in, but not even the Startup India websites were in process that time.
Right.
So the people were, oh, she's a crazy woman. Like, she has certain savings, she will spend it. But big thanks to my brother. I'll definitely, Abhishek, I'm just so grateful for you for this. He said, Didi, he's a younger brother.
Okay.
It's your money.
Right.
Whatever you want to decide, you do that.
Right.
But do not regret after few months, few years that you wanted to do this.
Right.
You were having an opportunity to do this. You were having a money to do this.
Right.
Not a big money, small money, whatever you have.
Yeah.
But then just because the people were saying, you have not started it.
Get that. Yeah.
कुछ नहीं होगा, experience होगा.
Right.
I discussed with my father. He said ki, you believe in, do it. He never said no to anything.
That's a great support to have.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like I landed to Delhi. I packed my bag. I landed to Delhi. And to my surprise, couple of my team member, they came to Delhi just to support me. Do you believe this?
Just to?
Support me.
Oh,
with my business.
From Bangalore.
From Bangalore. And they were not even a Hindi speaking people.
Okay.
They can speak English or they can speak their
Kannada.
The Kannada.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I was so like, so I say that the people, the
emotional moment,
emotional moment, like they also believe in me.
Right. Awesome.
And that, like, you will be surprised to know, in my previous company, I have a discussion with my CEO there that I should not tell my team in advance because I was having a 50 people ka team. If you say that you are leaving, they may also put down the paper.
Oh.
So that's a very genuine fear of any startups.
Any leader, you always have that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have informed my team just 30 minutes before I have to leave the organization.
Nice.
Just 30 minutes before.
That's being great towards your founder, to your employer.
Exactly. And I was surprised that those people were not even bothered about their last month ka salary. They were not bothered that even I'm going to pay them or not.
Right.
And how the company will grow.
I think then that speaks about not just the problem that you're solving, it also speaks about you as a leader. How good a leader were you that people were wanting to follow you and work with you.
Yes,
that speaks a lot about leadership skill.
God is very kind to me. I can say. God is very kind to me.
Right.
So, and I started with Park there, like searching offices here and there. And because of my age, right, people were like, is he really
serious about it?
Serious about it? Really, he is going to start a business? So, one
this
thing
was
is that
in 2016. Yeah.
Woman, right?
Yeah.
And then so young.
Right.
So, it's like a very, very roller coaster ride for me, you can say.
Get that.
Right? And then I was for 3 months, like from March, April, May, we work in Park.
Out in the ground.
Because we were going and working in a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Then they were just kicking us out like, okay, the coffee is over, now you need to go out.
Oh.
So we have figured out a different way, like, okay, if we are 2 people or 3 people, we order the coffee one after another so that we get
the table is engaged.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the struggle of that startup, because we were with a very limited money, right that time. Yeah. Very, very limited money. And then we were sitting even in the park, right? So the caretaker of the park, they were like, what these guys are doing here?
Oh.
Right? What these boys and girls are doing here. So you know that mentality of the people, right?
Yeah.
So it was really a very challenging.
Boy and girl and in the park.
Sitting with the laptops,
Yeah.
And then sometimes we are discussing, we are raising our voice, we are soft with the words, right? Okay. We are talking our ambitions, ki acha theek hai, company will grow this way, we will grow that way. So it's all kind of discussion which a startup team does. Right. And it's very difficult for the people to understand, right?
Yeah, correct.
Right. So that way it happened. Luckily, we got an office space of we started with, by the way, lucky enough, we started with a 3,000 square feet office.
Whoa.
Wow. And in the Electronic City in Noida.
That's quite a massive area.
Right.
So you were generating revenue by then?
Not exactly. But yes, we have started with the claims.
Couple of clients
with a couple of clients and all. And I was also consulting for my software projects and all.
Oh.
So I was just...
So you were making money from other side projects
and then putting up there.
Awesome. 3,000 square feet is a quite big place.
Yeah. But we were lucky to survive and grow, by the way.
Right. What was the rent like then?
I'm very good at negotiation, I can say that.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that time, like the actual rent was there 100 rupees per square feet, including maintenance in Electronic City, and that on the main road, right?
3 lakh rupees.
Yeah, but we cracked the deal for 60 rupees per square feet, including maintenance.
So Refundme started by your personal pain point and trying to solve the pain for others as well that you have seen, right? Now this is one, we'll dig deeper into it. Before going in deeper level here, I want to understand there's one other company that you have, right? What is this all about? TravQ? Quantumsoft Tech? TravQ is a product of Quantumsoft.
Yeah,
what is
service
this?
Segment of.
What is this about?
Okay, so when I was back, I promised my CEO that I will not work on a travel technology thing.
Okay.
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 So, but what happened, like my clients who
Mm-hmm.
were visiting to Bangalore for their
Okay.
projects,
Right.
they keep coming to Delhi also just to meet me for 5 minutes,
Oh.
right?
Right.
Just they want to talk to me,
Right.
see me there, oh, just to say hi.
Right.
And by the way, they have motivated me a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
your expertise is in travel technology,
Right.
right? You know how to program, right? You know
Yeah.
how to design this architect of the
Right.
system, right?
Right.
Write the logic. So why not you are starting it,
Yeah.
right? Then I had a discussion with my mentor and then CTO of Refundme GmbH also, Dr. Jahim Hetel, and we decided, okay, let's form the another company for a software development,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And along with that, we were also already doing our research on a different blockchain modules, right? Different AI based logics and all.
Sure.
So we thought, like, let's, why not start the new company where
Understood.
we work on the product, because I was having a certain clients coming in and asking us to develop the project for
Because
them.
of your previous experience that you
Right,
had.
right.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome. So this software is in the travel segment itself.
So we are doing it in a travel segment also, which we have dedicated to a TravQ domain,
Mm-hmm.
where you will get all the information about the flight booking engine, hotel booking engine, car booking engine, and so
Right.
on.
Right.
But then we have also developed the products for healthcare industry,
Mm-hmm.
for school and education industry,
Ah.
for banking sector.
So you're basically serving the wider
Exactly,
segment.
exactly. So where we see very interesting and research oriented programming,
Mm-hmm.
we pick that project.
So Akanksha, on the Refundme side, right? Now you saw that there was a personal anecdote, and then there was this pain point that you have seen a boy crying for his parents, etc., right? And multiple other stories. What was that you saw that you can solve, and this can become a business, right? What is the business model that you have at Refundme? Because I understand on one side there's passion of solving a problem, but then passion doesn't feed us, right? Passion is passion that you like, right? But then there has to be some business sense and business model. So I would want to understand Refundme's business model.
Okay, so we work on no win, no fee policy.
Sorry?
No win, no fee policy.
No win, no fee. Okay,
No
got
win,
that.
no fee policy.
Yeah.
Okay, but before that, I want to talk about a bit like a product market fit and all these jargons which is trending for the
Sure,
startup industry, right? So that time, of course, I'm not from an MBA background, or that time the story of startups were not so often, like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it was just it happens,
Right.
and so you need to understand, in my previous organization where I was working in Bangalore, I was running a kind of a mini office there,
Okay.
my own team.
Right, you said that.
Right,
Yeah,
I said
yeah.
that, right? So the point was that I have learned a lots and lots of experience from there.
Right.
Then I believe that analytical thinking is very important
Right.
when you curate your business,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
And I'm the person who will not go with the book or by the saying of the people ki this is the tradition, people do it this way and you have to do it this way. No.
So you believe in breaking the rules?
No. No, not that way. I
Sure.
don't believe in breaking the rules,
Yeah.
but I believe in understanding my problem and solving my problem,
Get that. Okay.
right? So I can take a reference of others'
Mm-hmm.
problem,
Right.
others' way of handling the situation,
Right.
but I cannot just copy it,
Fair point. Fair point.
right?
Yeah.
So that way it happens. So when I have to start my business,
Mm-hmm.
first thing I did a very, very due diligence of 2 years,
Oh.
right? From
So you are
16,
working
14 to 16.
14
right?
to 16.
14 to 16, like close to 1.5 years, you can say, right?
Right.
On top of that, I have studied the data by DGCA, by
Okay.
EU 261 regulatory authorities,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's a very much data oriented
Sure.
research.
Sure.
On top of that, I have also visited to the people at airport,
Right.
right? Heard their stories, their
Right.
actual pain points,
Right.
right? Because what happened, like if I'll ask you now, all of a sudden, hey, how do you feel if your flight get cancelled? Your reply will be different.
Yeah.
But if you are in that pain,
Yeah.
your reply will be totally different,
Oh.
right?
Right.
And then there is something called that need and want of
Right.
a person in
Right.
business, right?
Right.
Right. So you need to understand that also.
I'm going for a meeting. I need the flight now. There's no discussion around it.
Right. Another point is that in India and even in abroad, we
Right.
have a different perspective. People, very rich people fly, and no, it's not like that. The
Right.
people who want a quick mode of transportation for flying
Right.
based on the need of reaching there.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So there's also, I can say that it's a very research oriented and very planned approach of starting a business.
Right.
But to be honest, it happened very naturally.
Sure. So you did 2 years, 1.5, 2 years research, 14 to 16.
Right.
And then you realize that there is this problem and problem market fit is there, right? That's what you realized. Now on a commercial side, right, from a financial standpoint, help us understand the exact business model. Where do you make money? So I understood that no refund, no fee, which technically, if I, from a layman standpoint, understand, if I, let's say, have complaint and I am supposed to get a claim of it, whether it is refund or compensation for whatever loss, etc., I am supposed to get that. If I don't get that, you don't take anything. If I get that, you take something. Is that how it works?
Right.
If you can thoda sa explain from your side of it.
So we work on a two different model.
Sure.
Okay. One is a B2B SaaS based platform.
Right.
Where we approach the corporate clients to share
Right.
their data.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then we process their bulk data.
Sure.
We tell them, okay, your total claim worth is this much amount.
Get that.
And then we take from them the client data and so on. We process the claim.
Right.
Once we receive the money, we keep our 30% plus GST or VAT, whichever is applicable, right? And give rest to their
account.
So
Get that.
sometimes we give it to the company and they further distribute it to their employees if the ticket is through their employees.
Got that.
Their employee has purchased that.
Got that.
If it is purchased by their company, then of course company has a right to keep that.
Understood.
Right?
Understood.
So this is
So
the
this
one
is on the
way.
B2B side of it.
B2B side
Okay.
of it. Then the B2C side of it, let's suppose your flight get cancelled.
Right.
Right? You came to us, you have feeded your data in our portal. We will review that. We will process the claim. Once we receive the compensation from the airline,
Right.
we will keep our 30% plus GST or VAT as a commission, right? And then we send rest to you.
Got it. If I'm an individual, I have lost a product or a baggage, right? How does it work now?
Okay, quite an interesting question here. Again, so I'm very proud to share the news that when we started our journey from 2017 onwards, we started sending certain suggestions to DGCA.
Okay.
Right. Because the compensation method in the rest of the world versus India is quite different.
Right.
So here the compensation amount is calculated based on your base fare or the fuel surcharge, right?
Okay.
But in other countries, it is calculated based on the distance and the time, as I said earlier.
Right.
Now, so we started drafting that. Apart from that, we have also seen the gap of baggage loss and delay in India.
Yeah.
And we recommended our suggestion to DGCA and Ministry of Civil Aviation. Again, I'm very proud to say that in 2019, the new passenger charter was released and India became one of the country along with Brazil to offer the compensation for baggage loss and delay.
Wow.
So there are certain guidelines that, for example, it has to be delay has to be more than 5 hours, 6 hours, or so on, or loss has been reported like after 2 days, 3 days, or a week, so on. But I'm glad that at least there are something.
Right, there is some recognition for the problem that is being
Right,
there.
right. And one more thing people are unaware of, that let's suppose your bag get like it's a broken somewhere.
Right.
So
My trolley wheel is broken.
Yeah. So everyone has a rule. There is a rule where you can go to the airline and you can ask for the repair, either to repair the bag or to replace the bag.
Right.
The one more thing I wanted to point out here, that some of the people keep saying that, okay, my stuffs are missing. Right?
Right.
So they forget to see that their tag has the weight of that luggage. Right?
Yeah,
so
correct.
you can ask airline that, can you please
Cross-check the weight of
yeah,
it. Yeah.
again.
Correct. Makes sense. Absolutely.
Right? And that way you can see that whether something is missing or not missing.
I think while I have given my baggage for check-in, I never noticed the weight of it and hardly thought about it.
Yeah, and that is why I keep saying people that whenever you are traveling, right, do not try to convince even at an airport to the airport staff that, okay, just manage it for 25k if it is a upper limit, or 15k if it is a upper limit. Just get the actual weight listed or noted there.
Yeah.
It is very important.
Actually.
Otherwise, just to save few hundreds or thousands, when you will lose your bag or there will be
items
a damage,
right,
you will be at a great loss.
Correct. Actually makes sense. Akanksha, how is this problem and regulation different in different countries? If you can throw some light on where does India stand, where does US stand, where does Europe stand, if you can help us understand these, and which of these is on the top, probably, is US better, Europe better, or India better from a regulation standpoint to solve the traveler's pain point?
So as I said, like, there is a regulation in Europe, there is a regulation in UK, there is a regulation in Brazil, in Canada, okay, and then there is a regulation in Saudi Arabia also.
Right.
So for India is offering just the domestic, helping the domestic flyers with the compensation.
Got it.
Right?
Okay.
And the maximum amount is of 20,000 INR.
Up to
20,000 INR.
Right.
Now, the other part of the world has a regulation which is a cross-border.
Okay.
So they have like, it's not just limited to domestic, it's for the international sector also. Okay.
So India does not have international, it's only domestic.
No.
Okay.
Just a domestic one.
Got that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I talk for the European regulation, the maximum threshold is of 600 euro.
Got
For
it.
UK, the maximum one is 600 euro. If I talk about Brazil, right? So the maximum one is $1,950.
Got it.
So they have the maximum threshold, right? Then if I talk about Canada, so they have a 750 Canadian dollar.
Got that.
Right? And then if I talk about Saudi Arabia, again it is like 600 euro.
Fair point.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you can ask for the extra compensation also, like for the hotel stay. So for example, or transportation, let's say you have paid from your pocket. So there is a certain threshold, you can demand that as well.
Understood.
Yeah.
Got it. So Akanksha, can you explain me with taking distance as an example on how these are, working of sorts?
So what happened? Like, just take an example of a European sector.
Right.
Okay. So in European sector, what happened? The compensation is defined based on the time and the distance.
You said that, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So if the distance is above 3,500 kilometer, then the compensation amount is of, you can claim for 600 euro.
Okay.
If it is in between 1,500 to 3,500 kilometer,
right,
3,500 kilometer, then you can claim the compensation for 400 euro,
Got it.
right?
Right.
And less than that is 250 euro.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Same goes with the delay.
Mhm.
If it is 3 hours or more, right?
Right.
1 hours and more, and in between.
Got it. Got it.
Right. So it's a quite easy way. In that way, what happened, the passenger do not need to go and check their tickets, find out the pricing and all. But
Yeah.
in India, it is a problem.
Hmm.
Right. Even today there was an article on the pricing structure, airfare structure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there is some discussion going on between airline and DGCA. Right.
Right.
So
I think airlines are not comfortable with what DGCI is saying, something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
because they are trying to monitor it in a way.
Right.
So that, but their agenda is to reduce the UDF charges and the other tariffs at airport.
What does UDF mean?
UDF is a user development fee.
Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
airlines charge this on the passenger.
Yes, and that is defined for, and that is different for every airport.
Okay.
Okay, and not there, by the way. So the UDF charges for the arrival airport different, departure different. It could be same also.
Oh.
It could be nil also, right?
Right. Right.
And it could be like a different also.
Understood.
So it depends upon the resources available at that airport.
Get it.
Okay, and every airport has a different. So if you'll see, Mumbai recently have changed it.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
In 2017, it was changed for Delhi airport.
As in
It
they
was
increased or reduced?
Reduced.
Okay.
Mumbai had just increased, by the way.
Mumbai increased it.
Increased it,
Delhi
yeah.
reduced it.
Yeah, Delhi
Oh.
reduced in 2017 and Mumbai had just increased it and that's from 18th of March.
18th of March.
Yeah.
As in, when you say they have increased, they increased because of the infrastructure cost? Is that how it is?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now, one more thing one need to understand, that the base fare plus fuel surcharge.
Right.
Okay. So the compensation amount is always the sum of base fare and fuel surcharge or certain percentage of it.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
But in our case, I would urge every viewers, go back, check your tickets, right?
Yeah.
And try to understand that what was your base fare, what was your fuel surcharge, right? What was your Q charge, what was your UDF charge or the other passenger charge, right? Or the GST applicable to it, right? So we keep talking about ki GST increase hua, decrease hua, right? But we never thought about ki what sort of GST we are paying on our ticket.
Yeah.
And on which all component the GST is applicable.
Right. Yeah.
Right? That is also quite interesting.
Correct.
So the GST is only applicable to your base fare, not the sum of your all the component, not even to the fuel surcharge.
Oh, who will go and check all these, Akanksha?
People are doing this. Otherwise, you may end up and not able to claim the compensation.
In fact, I remember I recently had a trip to Ooty with my family, and I was like, okay, vacation ka time. This is the time that I want to travel, and all I was looking at is 2-3 portals. Who's giving best price and which airlines is best. I usually prefer Indigo most of the time, and then see the price. If there is any coupon available, put that, take the ticket first. This is a typical buyer mindset, right? I believe most of my friends, people I know who book tickets, are like this only. They don't really go into breakdown of base fare, UDS. We don't even understand what is UDS.
But you don't know that is going to reduce your ticket cost.
Yeah, I get your point. I get your point, and one should start checking. And probably next time when I do it, I'll try checking it. If I don't understand, I'll call you.
Okay, for sure. You know what happened in 2017? It's a very interesting use case. When the UDF charge was reduced to 10 rupees for domestic and 45 rupees for international travel, you know what happened? Like the people who has booked the ticket 3 months in advance or 2 months in advance, the DGCA and ministry has given a guideline to refund their UDF charges because they have paid something 200 and 400 about.
Right.
So the instruction was to refund that UDF charge to all the passenger.
Okay.
Right. We were also receiving the emails, the calls from the passenger that how to get that back and all. Right. So it was a very natural process and a very smooth process suggested that that OTA has to refund this.
Right.
Right. And they can claim it from the airline.
Right.
Right. But what happened? Most of them has never received it. The people who has claimed it may have received it.
Okay.
But the point is that who is bothered about that 200 rupees, 150 rupees or 100 rupees?
The point is, Akanksha, even before that 200, 300, how many people are aware of that this is supposed to be refunded to them? That this regulatory or this point is changed and you are supposed to go back and claim it. No communication around it, as in unless you are following news and aviation specific, only then you might want to, you would go back and try claiming it.
So
Quite a complex
very
situation,
well
right?
Very well said. So we have also figured out this point, right?
Okay.
So one thing is that people who are traveling must have these informations. But I understand these days we have so much to consume, right? We miss many things.
Right.
So that is why we are coming up with Elite Services, Mr. Boyi. It's our mascot also. And it's our mobile application.
Okay.
Soon it will be live for everyone.
Sure.
And where you will get informed. So you will come to our application. You check in your flight details, right? You will get all the information about your airline and your flight, and your airport, right? So, for example, with respect to the flight, from which terminal it is flying, which terminal it is landing, what is the travel time, where is the baggage belt, and all these details. From an airline perspective, it's quite interesting to know that on which fleet you are. You are traveling from let's Airbus 320, for example, right? What is the specification of that Airbus? It's a double engine, single engine, right? It's a double decker. How many passengers are traveling with you? How many seats are available, right? How many how other services are available? So it's quite interesting and fun to explore, especially for the kids also, right? So that is the one part we are adding here. Another thing, we are also adding the information about the airport. Okay. Right. So the airport information is that where is the smoking zone, which is very important, right? Yeah. Where is the medical store? Right. Where is the airport lounge? Right. I use lounge a lot. Yeah. And it's very difficult for people to figure out where it is because they get lost. Trust me, there are times when I was literally, let's say when I first went to Bangalore airport, I was literally searching where is this lounge. It happens. And there are 2-3 lounges, and then you want a specific lounge, and then you again keep searching and you ask people where is this. If a platform like this which helps you get the information, nothing like it. Yeah. So and one single platform, whichever airport you travel to. Exactly. Exactly. So currently there are information, but on a specific airport ka website on the application, not at consolidated at one place. Okay. So this is the one thing we are doing. We are also making it planning of making it advanced with respect to the other technologies like AI and all. But apart from that, so let's suppose you have checked in your flight details there. Right. So we will keep sending you the notifications. Understood. Right? Okay. Even if there is a last minute gate change, we will send you the notification specific for you. Okay. Right? Ki, look, this has changed. Right. And we have figured out a method where even with respect to the UDF charges and other changes happened, right? We are not going to make it a long story like a 2-minute, 3-minute read, right? We are just putting it a single line. Your UDF charge for this particular airport has revised. Right. If you have booked flight in from this time to this time, before this time, you can claim this with your OTA or airline. Understood. Get that. A very comprehensive, very focused message, you can say. Oh, a very brief, very focused, to the point. Got that. So that it will not take your time, but it will keep you updated. Fair. I think quite an interesting solution there. Akanksha, so
On the market size, right now, problem seems really genuine and a good to solve problem, and probably nobody in India right now are catering to this problem, if I'm not wrong, right? What is the total addressable market TAM for this problem that you're solving?
Okay, so if you talk about the total addressable market, right? I'll also add certain other, allied services to it. I'll call
Sure.
it, right?
Sure.
Because right now I'm seeing this from a perspective of Mr. Boyi
Okay.
as an application where we have other aligned services coming in.
Right.
Rather than just with the claim compensation.
Sure.
Right? Because I'm talking here about the passenger's pain
Right.
and how we are solving it, and on top of that, how I'm growing the country's economy
Yeah.
and bringing the export here, right?
Right.
To GDP,
Right. Right.
So this is very important to understand. Now, if you'll talk like last year, the total number of flyers worldwide
Mm-hmm.
was 9 billion.
9
Total
billion
passengers.
flights. Passengers traveled.
Right. 9 billion.
Okay.
So some people may get confused, so I'm just explaining it a bit. So people often get confused with the total number of population. So when I say passenger, so if you are traveling twice,
Yeah.
you will be counted twice.
Got it. So I travel from Hyderabad to Kolkata, Kolkata to Delhi. This is
Two passengers.
two twice.
Twice.
Okay,
right?
I'm counted twice.
Twice. Right.
Got it. Okay.
So that way, total 9 billion people have traveled across the globe.
Got that.
Right. So if you talk from that perspective, so the total market is somewhere of 1.4 trillion.
Whoa.
Yeah. And that with the CAGR of 6.6%.
Wow.
And when I'm talking this, since we do not offer ticket booking, we are
Right.
not a ticket booking platform.
Yeah.
Booking platform. So I'm not calculating that. Right? And of course, you fragment it to the SAM and further to SOM, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I talk about SAM, it's of a $220 billion.
Okay.
And just our SOM is for, we have taken 4 geographical location.
Right.
Or you can say just 3.
Right.
India, Europe and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it is of 54 billion.
Okay. Can you just elaborate SAM and SOM so that if there is any fresher seeing this doesn't get confused?
So the TAM is basically total addressable market. So how
Right.
many people? I'm just telling you it in a very layman language.
Right. Total market, that is
Total market.
as an opportunity there.
As a
whether you
opportunity
serve or
there.
somebody else serve.
Right.
Right.
Or you can convert that market in an opportunity.
Fair.
It's not the total market with an opportunity, so you can convert that market to an opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. SAM is that the people who are your market,
Sure.
who could be your market.
Serviceable. Addressable market.
Yeah,
Okay.
serviceable market. The SOM is that the targeted market you are choosing to service. So for example, if I say, so the people,
Right.
even if I talk about our SAM is 220 billion.
Right. Right.
We are a global platform, right? People from anywhere can come and avail our services,
Right.
right?
Right.
Now, but having said that, we are not calculating them as a targeted market.
Got it.
Still, we are saying that our target audience is just India, Europe and Canada
Okay. Okay.
currently.
Right.
Which means that whatever the advertisements, marketing efforts we are doing around it.
India, Canada and Europe.
Europe.
Got
Right?
it.
But if the people are coming from other Asian countries, that's an additional benefit to our platform.
Get that.
Right?
Okay.
So there is in a technical world, like a IT based product, the good way to calculate is like how the startups calculate is. One is the total size of the market in terms of the population and all this. Second is that, okay, what is the mobile penetration, because the product is mobile based,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Total smartphone penetration in that area. So that way they calculate the SAM. Now, out of those total penetrated area, like how many of them with a different age group are their target audience?
Got it.
And
Got
that
it.
is SOM.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, Akanksha, you are running this show across multiple geographies. Started in India and operating, or you also mentioned export, right? You're bringing money from foreign land to in India, right? Can you throw more light on this? On how are you doing it?
Yeah, okay. So initially we targeted with the air traveler who is flying from India to Europe or to other part of the world via Europe or via those country who has an international regulations,
Got that.
right?
Right.
So let's suppose Pradeep is flying to Frankfurt or to Munich.
Sure.
His flight get cancelled.
Right.
He was flying from Lufthansa.
Sure.
So now in that case, Lufthansa being an international airline
Right.
has to give you the compensation of 600 euro. So we are
Okay.
bringing 600 euro from some other country to India.
Wow.
So we are just not a company who is rotating the Indian money and creating that ecosystem.
Right. Right.
We are bringing some extra advantage.
Right. Foreign currency to
Yeah.
India.
And we are building that. We are contributing in that
Economy.
GDP.
Yeah. Great.
Growth.
Great. Awesome. So, Akanksha, you started this company. Did you have co-founder or do you have co-founder now? What is the background, if you can help us understand that?
Yeah. So we are always a private limited company.
Sure.
So I started my journey as a private limited company. Then my co-founder was Eve. She is a very renowned journalist and also the founder of Refundme GmbH,
Okay.
who was in a similar business but from Europeans.
Okay.
Only in Europe. And because of the COVID and the other health related issues, she has to step down. And I'm proud that now we have acquired the assets of Refundme GmbH.
Okay.
And yeah, currently I have the another co-founders also, because as we grow, we keep adding the people.
Yeah.
And we have currently three co-founders.
Acha, so you and two more people.
Yeah, two more people are there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you decide on having a co-founder? How do you choose that? Because that a lot of time become quite a challenge. Some people start, two classmates from IIT or ISB or whatever college they have studied in. They start together, or sometimes people go to a networking and then they pick up people there, or sometimes people I these days I see ads of looking out for a co-founder. Then we have Y Combinator sort of websites where people who are interested, like-minded, are looking out, right? What is your journey on getting a co-founder on board?
Like everyone say, I'm very much in sync with their answer. Choosing a co-founder is like choosing a life partner. It's not less than that. It's also a marriage, right? Because you are spending more time. You are discussing more bigger problem.
Absolutely.
With your co-founder, right? Your life partner has certain reason to stay with you, but the co-founder having the other opportunity, but then believing in you and sticking on the same idea. So it's pretty difficult.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's equally difficult as finding the right life partner.
Right.
But in my case, with all God grace, I can say I'm a very blessed one. It all happened very organically.
Okay.
So for me, it was never a case that I have to go and find out, okay, can you be my co-founder or do you want to be my co-founder? No, it has never happened with me. So when I met my co-founder Rishi, so we had he is currently in New York, and he's an investment banker.
Okay.
And it was a quite organic, like we met as for a meeting. He was quite impressed with the work I was doing, and we started our communication, and he said, okay, I would love to help you in this. He treated me as his little sister also.
Okay.
And then one day during the time when it was a COVID and all happening around, and you know the Eve, she also got like COVID and all. So we were and he said ki, Akanksha, let's do it together. I would love to be the part of it.
Oh, so Eve was down and she was not available, and you were looking out for someone? Or?
So I was just thinking that time ki, what shall I do? I was always having an option to add my brother there.
Okay.
Yeah. But then he said, I would love to join you and work with you.
Awesome.
So and that way it went. And then I met another co-founder in an event again, and then I approached him for mentoring, by the way, because he holds a very vast knowledge, and it went very well. Like he initially he asked lots of questions and all. I was not having in my mind anywhere ki he is willing to join it.
Okay.
Right, but because he was a very senior person from an industry, right? And then when he saw data, he saw a system, right? He was quite excited to join it.
Awesome.
Right? And I'm lucky that I have a very strong team now who, and all of us, complement skills to each other.
Awesome. Yeah.
Like one from a completely finance and operation background, one from a marketing and strategy, and again the legal and the CS degree.
Right.
Advantage, right? Me being a tech and the sales background.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm blessed that way.
Awesome. So Akanksha, on the operational side, you now have a team set and 3 co-founders together, you and 2 people. What are the challenges that you have faced while you were operating as a company? And was there a situation where you realized, I'm not sure if this will work or not? Was there a scenario like that?
Okay. So of course, as a startup co-founder, as a young woman that time in 2016, like quite a young, definitely, it was difficult for me like it is difficult for other people, right, to start the business. Interestingly, when I started, we have a name India in our company name. So it's a refund.me India,
right.
Services and Aage. So what happened, like our registration got rejected twice.
Oh.
So in the third attempt,
okay.
And I have one very clear policy. I'll never pay the bribe to anyone.
Okay, right.
Okay. Fair point. So some people were suggesting also ki, this is how industry works and all these things, but you are very rigid and all these things.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'll think of it. Let's try it once again.
Right.
So we did that.
Sure.
We were lucky it happened. Now, when we get a service tax registration done, just after a month, GST came.
Okay.
So it was an era of experiment. Okay. And then in December, demonetization.
Oh man.
Okay. So it was really quite an interesting journey for us in that way.
Yeah.
From a perspective and like a dar kind of thing, I don't know. I'm never scared of anything. Sure. I always believe whatever will happen, we'll see. Why should I bother about it?
Got it.
See, my karma is to work hard, right? And along with that, work in a right direction.
Right.
stay focused, right?
Got it.
So why not I focus on my part? Why should I bother about other things?
Fair point. Fair
Right?
point. Yeah.
So I have never thought of closing it. Even though when COVID hits, right, we have run the show for a couple of months, and then
Okay.
we decided in terms of the operation, and then we decided that let's hold the processing of claim
Mm-hmm.
and invest the money whatever we have in a tech building,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because see, it's not the investors' money or anybody else money. People were telling it also that you have to run the operation even though you were not getting it, but you should not have to to hold it and all. But see, I believe that it's something. It's the baby for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
and I know how to take care of it.
Got it. Got
Right?
it. Yeah. Yeah.
And along with that, I have to also take care of the people who are working with me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because they have a belief in me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I started focusing on the product building rather than completely shutting it down.
Got it. Got it.
Right?
Awesome.
So of course there was a tough time when I have worked like for double shift, like even a kind of providing consultancies to the different people and different sectors, you can say, to
Yeah.
to travel technology sector, to even to startups mentoring, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is that never ever it came to my mind ki at any point of time that I have to shut down this business.
Get that. Get that.
I never get that.
Yeah. Yeah. Very nice. So, you spoke of going to mentor and getting guidance from the mentor, right? On the mentorship side, how did you choose your mentor? And in your case, since the mentor became co-founder, if you can help us understand that transition of mentor becoming co-founder.
This is something also defines that you are really doing something good.
Sure.
Right? Not great, I can say, but something meaningful.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where the people who started as a mentor has a trust in you.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And sometimes it happens that we as a startup, what we do wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
We see certain people, oh, he has a very huge fan followings, right? Very popular.
Yeah.
So I want him to mentor me.
Got it.
So as a startup founder, it's very important that particular person, can he or she add value to your business?
Right. Right.
It's not about their fan following.
Right.
It's about that their skill and their fan following can benefit you.
Okay.
Right?
Sure.
Another thing, it is also important that during our even the journey of life, we talk to so many people. But we cannot say guru or mentor to everyone. The person they must need to be aligned with your thought process. Your vision. And the one important thing is the trust in you as a founder.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So it's just not that you need their knowledge. You also need, so for example, let's suppose you want somebody to become your mentor.
Sure.
But what if that mentor don't have trust in you?
Sure. Right.
You will lack that confidence. Every time when you will move forward, you will get something which is like, oh, though he has a good advice, but I feel that he still missed something, right?
Yeah.
He's not confident. The another thing even with the co-founder and the mentor is important, the transparency.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So as I said, they are your partner.
Yeah.
Right? So we need to be very transparent with them.
Right.
In terms of everything you do.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not that and company is never ever about your company. It's always about our company.
Got it. Got it.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I say that, I mean it. So I give that free hand to the people. I say that even my team members,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
As much as I'm responsible or I'm concerned about switching off light and saving electricity,
Right.
each and every team member of mine is concerned because they have a sense that this is their
Got it.
own,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So it is very important
Got
that
it.
you give that person a sense of that trust, and eventually that trust, that your vision is aligned,
Sure.
right? You respect the person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's as simple as choosing the life partner, as I said. It's very
Right, someone who can be with you and guide you throughout the journey
throughout the
and
journey.
help you realize what are the mistakes
Yeah.
and what is the right path or possibly the right step towards moving towards your objective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the person don't have, and one thing you need to understand, most of the time it happens with me in my previous companies as well, as well. So when, like, I have shared my experience that when I received the dead lead,
Yeah.
right, the people were saying, oh, these are the dead leads. He was just, you are just a kid and he just have given you kind of a lollipop.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? But the point is that I chose that person as a mentor and I have a trust in him.
That it. Yeah.
Right?
Makes sense.
So rather than taking it negatively, going by the other words,
Yeah.
I chose my own conscious ki nahi. He has given me because he trusts me that if
I can do it.
I can do that. I have a
Makes sense.
potential.
Makes sense.
And that changed the game.
Got it. So in this case, at what point of time your mentor decided or you together decided that he's gonna come as a co-founder? What was that tipping point where that both of you realized he should be part of the board?
So eventually he started was just giving the suggestions, right? I started creating his interest in terms of feeding him with the new set of work we are doing, the data we are exploring, the systems we have, right? The work we were doing.
Right.
So eventually he generated his own interest, right?
Yeah.
And the 1 hour became 2 hour, 2 hour became 3 hours, 8 hours, and continuously. And then he was so involved in this process that okay, why don't we do this way? Why don't we do that way?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
So it happens just naturally and with flow. It was never a plan that I should go and convince him to, okay, please be my partner, business partner, right? I want to work with you. And no, it has never happened.
So you asked him at a point in time when you saw that more number of hours coming into the work, or he said that I'll be the co-founder?
No, actually we were sitting and talking about the potential of Refundme, and actually we both said the statement, yeah, let's do it together. So it was like a both at one phrase, let's do it together.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah, nice. So Akanksha, if you can help us, tell us a situation where you have solved a problem of customer and you realize that you are on the right track.
Okay, so this is little connected to an very interesting incident. But before that, one thing which I personally felt very good about is that when Refundme has helped that guy who's screaming at the airport, and whose voice has somewhere stuck in my ears. We helped him getting the compensation. Of course, not at that point of time, but after certain months and years, of course. And by the way, I started, processing his claim before we formed this company.
Nice, awesome.
Right.
Awesome.
So when I received that compensation for him and for myself, right,
Yeah.
that has given me like a confidence also.
Great.
Right. Okay, yes, it's now not just a regulation, it's really working. Right. Okay. So that was the one thing. Another thing, what happened, like, in 2017, early 2017, I got a call in our office
Okay.
from a law firm in Mumbai,
Okay.
right? So, and those were the days we will keep receiving, legal notices from the different airline in India's their offices.
Oh, they're trying to sue you or something
No,
like that?
not the suing, but yeah, this is not the actual claim and all these kind of things,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Of course, how how the industry works.
Mhm.
But we were having certain advantage over it, but because we were so technical and good at our thing, we were even finding the loopholes there.
Okay, your father
Ki,
father is a lawyer anyway.
but, but yeah, that genes work. And
Right.
more than that, our hard work in, as I said, like we have research in our process is very well defined.
Sure.
So for anything we research in depth. So what happened, like we were getting a call continuously, thrice, four times, 5 times, and
Sure.
the assumption was that within the team members that this is another call from another airlines legal team, say,
Okay.
and let's ignore it. But then when we are getting, and they were asking for me continuously,
Right.
then I asked, okay, pass me the call, let me talk to them what they're saying.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So I had a conversation. I started, and he said, when he said that I'm calling from APAI's team. APAI is a Air Passenger Association of India.
Okay.
Okay. And it was headed by Dr. Sudhakaran Reddy.
Okay.
He's a very renowned figure in South India.
Okay.
Okay. So I picked the call and I started talking to him. So he said that we are launching a travel insurance
Okay.
for the APAI members and the other members, and for our company group of companies. And we, for the claim compensation, we have reviewed other companies,
Mhm.
and we came across your profile also,
Okay.
and we want to meet you.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. And I was like, wow. So we are definitely doing something right. Like, so such a renowned organization or the people,
Right.
they want to meet us,
Right.
right? And luckily, I have to fly to Germany
Uh-huh.
after a couple of days. And I said that it's very hard for me to travel to Mumbai on such a short notice because I'm flying to, to Germany, and I'm not able. So he said that, oh, I'm also in Budapest.
Oh.
So let's catch in Berlin.
Awesome. Okay.
Okay. And then there I went and we had a meeting. From there, when I came, then the second meeting he scheduled was with Dr. Sudhakaran Reddy
Okay.
directly. So the meeting was scheduled for just 15-20 minutes. He wanted to understand that.
Mhm.
But then that discussion started and continued for like 3 hours, more than that even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was so good that he was the one who motivated me,
Okay.
right? And like with a very tight schedule that now
Sure.
you need to draft a new framework
Okay.
and send it to the DGCA, right?
Right.
Talk to give one copy to me also.
Sure.
This is very important. And like that was the time I felt like, come on, such a renowned person, and we did the merger with them for the settlement. Even he conducted, like, organized the first airport aviation awards ceremony in Delhi,
Okay.
and our company was projected there, right? And we were invited, rewarded there.
Awesome.
So it was really that moment I can never forget. And it's sad that we lost him during the COVID.
Okay.
But even during the COVID, we had a couple of YouTube sessions with him, and sharing the conversation with him
Okay.
is really something.
Awesome.
And yeah, it was one of the greatest, feeling. Was there.
So that gave you a validation that
Yeah,
you're doing right
validation.
thing.
Yeah,
Awesome.
not the validation. See, as a startup and as a human, I never look for a validation. and I don't see that people should look for it,
Mhm.
right? But you know, that sense of encouragement,
Okay.
right? I see it that way. So it
Awesome.
was quite encouraging for me that there are a competitor in the European countries, right?
Yeah.
And even the person has that access of European competitors,
Mm-hmm.
but still they want to go with us.
Right.
And where at a one hand, I'm just hearing from the people, oh, she's very young and just wasting her money, wasting her time, not doing anything else and all.
Right.
Like quite a negative words. And then the industry leaders are talking to me and they're appreciating my work. They they are willing to work with me. Right. So
Yeah.
that was quite a rewarding. that time.
Awesome. So, Akanksha, I think we'll get to the details of women in business and the problems around it slightly at a later point. I would want to understand the step-by-step process on how the refund me works.
Okay. So
From the claim to settlement, I would want to understand if you can break that in steps.
So the people come to our website,
Sure.
they fill in their they claim.
Sure.
If you are eligible in terms of the regulatory norms,
Right.
we will accept your claims.
Okay.
So if your claims belongs to Indian jurisdiction, or you can say in a very layman term, if your flight segment belongs to Indian jurisdiction, US jurisdiction, or the
Europe.
other jurisdiction, European jurisdiction and the other jurisdiction, then only we will accept your claim.
Got it.
Otherwise, we will reject it then and there.
Okay.
Right.
So you operate only in certain segments
Yes,
jurisdictions.
and right now we have an automated system, so it only consider the actual claims.
Got that. Okay.
Right. Now in India, it's pretty difficult from a automation point of view to define that whether the flight is exactly cancelled or not cancelled and on certain other factors, or the claim is eligible. Right.
Okay.
But to European extent and all, it's not. So we take the claim, right? Then in backend, we run our internal automated process to analyze the claim and the amount.
Got it.
Right?
Got it.
One that is decided that, okay, this particular flight is eligible for this claim or this much amount and so on.
Right.
We send a letter to passenger requesting them to sign the AOA, letter of authorization, or POA, power of attorney.
So that
so
you
in
guys
India,
can...
So in India, because we have to claim on their behalf.
Got it. Yeah.
So then once we receive that, then they have an option to upload it now from our applications.
Okay.
Right. So once they upload it, system automatically pick it, generates the settlement letter for an airline and send it to the airline.
Okay.
Right. In those processes, there are certain cases where my team, or you can say the human need is there.
Intervention
comes in that we do.
Got it.
And then based on that, most of the time actually, because we pick now the very smartly the actual claims, we receive the confirmation from the airline followed by the money in our account, then we have to map it.
Okay.
Right. And in some cases we get the queries and questions that no, this is not eligible, or there is a fault of a passenger or something like that.
Right.
Then we have to reply it to them back.
Okay.
And once we receive the compensation, we deduct our 30% of commission, and rest we send to the passengers.
Awesome.
In cases where we see that there is a very high chance of getting the compensation, but airline is rejecting it for certain reasons, then we also have a legal law firms on our board across different geographical location, like in Europe also.
Awesome.
In India also. So we pass those claims to the law firm.
Okay, where you think this is right and they are wrongly rejecting it.
Yeah, wrongly rejected, and airline is not listening to us. Sometimes they miss it by the way.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
So then we pass it to the law firm, and the law firm take it further.
Got it.
Right? And they get the compensation. Once we receive the compensation through the law firm, then we pass it to the customers.
Awesome. That's a great part of your work, right?
Right.
So, what is the time duration from the claim request being raised till the claim or the money actually hitting the customer's bank account?
So, in a very normal case where the legal firm is not required, we take it as a 3 month.
90 days.
90 days, yeah.
Okay.
We take it as a 3 month, 90 days. But having said that, we have seen in certain cases we have received the compensation in 7 days also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So our
Okay.
first claim which we settled through the company was with Indigo Airline, and we settled it within 7 days.
Awesome. Awesome.
Right.
Great.
So it depends. Sometimes it's a very straightforward case, or I believe that every company has their process of accounting process of
Right.
releasing the money. So
Right.
if we are right in that cycle, right,
Yeah.
we get the money immediately.
Got it.
If that cycle is after 10 days or 15 days, then we get during that time.
Sure.
So that is also the one angle of seeing it.
Awesome.
But in general, we say it's a 90 days.
90-day
process.
period is
Yeah.
how you see it.
And
If in case a legal team comes in, how
yeah,
is that?
I was just about
Yeah.
to capture it. So legal teams, of course, that's a lengthy process.
Mhm.
But then our passengers, our clients, they understand that this is not an easy case.
Yeah.
If it would be easy, like it would have settled directly, right?
Yeah.
So if the law firm and the best part is that they don't have to spare any money on it,
Correct.
so they can wait for it.
Fair enough.
Right?
Is there a fee
So
difference?
1 year or so.
Is there a fee difference if the legal firm comes in?
There are in certain cases, but
Okay.
that varies from jurisdiction to jurisdiction.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Now, tell me one thing. If I, as a customer, I know, let's say I now realize there's a compensation angle alongside of the refund for the cancellation, right? Now, do you think I can directly approach and claim for the claim as well, instead of because let's say I think, why should I give you 30%? Why not I go directly and claim it, and get the full amount?
You can.
Okay.
See, but the problem is there. The problem is with respect to the time an individual needs to give
Mm-hmm.
in terms of doing their research.
Sure.
So if you have that time, right,
Yeah.
to research around it and
Right.
to file the claim, you can do and you can get it.
Got it.
Logically, the process has to be that way.
Sure.
But
Sure.
since the process is not that easy,
Yeah.
and the second thing is that people also do not have that time and capability,
Yeah.
right? Bandwidth, you can say, to do
Right.
this.
Right.
Right. They say that, okay, if I am getting 400 euro for
Right.
my trip, or
Hmm.
350 euro, and
Yeah.
instead I have nothing to do and I'm getting it outsourced,
Yeah.
and that is also when I'm paying it, when I'm getting it, like
Yeah.
logically they
if
do
I
not
get
have
it
to
only, then I
pay.
pay.
So logically the person do not have to send us the money.
Right.
It's just that we are deducting and giving it to.
Fair enough.
So they find it quite easy. But still, there are certain things which it's pretty difficult for a common people
Mm-hmm.
to figure out. For example, the extraordinary circumstances are excluded. Right.
Example.
Example, if there is a technical issue, if there is a weather issue, if there is a political issues,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If there is a bird strike,
Hmm.
right? But the thing is that that airline has to give a real and a transparent reason for that,
Right. Got it.
right?
Got it.
So we have many cases, even we ourselves has experienced in some way, if we are a frequent flyer,
Yeah.
that in most of the cases we see that there is a overbooking of a flight,
Yeah.
right? And then we are not allowed to board the flight,
Right. Yeah.
where we are not at fault.
Correct.
Most of the time we see that even in India and even the other part of the world, we see now a practice that there is an announcement after reaching that we have reached 10 minutes before actual scheduled time and all.
Correct. Yeah.
So it's the 10 minute is like when you hit the ground.
Huh.
It's not that when you reach the actual taxi area,
Zone. Yeah.
taxi zone, right?
Right.
Or your gate is not open,
Correct. Correct.
right? So in EU segment, what happened? Like even though you reached, but they will calculate the time when the gate of the fleet
Is open.
is open.
So the person stepping out of the flight onto the gate area is when they consider the time. Is it?
The air
Arrival time.
hostess when they open the door
Okay.
it is considered
Got
as
it.
the time.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
So we have seen many cases. We have seen what
Right.
happened. Like people see it. Acha, I reached. It was delayed by just 2 hours and 55 minutes. But still, they file a claim with us,
right.
right?
Right.
And when we see our data and well, we see that no, it's the flight is delayed by 10 minutes.
Okay, got that, got that.
Right.
So, Akanksha, tell me one thing, right? We keep hearing that there is this delay because of technical issue. Now, what are these technical issues that might come in? How genuine are those claims of technical issue, right? Because there was a situation where one of my friend was saying, yeah, there's no technical issue, wo to pilot late aaya, pilot was late, and hence they can't say to you that pilot is late. They put it as technical issue. I want to understand your perspective on this.
So you will find a advertisement around it by Google Map.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know this. What is this?
Yeah. So there is a advertisement in the Google Map by Google Map, which has demonstrated that the pilot had just boarded the cab,
Okay.
and the people are sitting, in the aircraft.
Uh-huh.
And there the announcement is that when the pilot get a call that how soon you are reaching, he said that reaching in 5 minutes, and the cab driver is saying that the Google Map is saying 30 minutes.
Okay.
Right? And what happened that and there is an announcement in a flight that takniki kharabi ke karan. So and what happened, like when the pilot reached there and he was asking permission for a runway, then air traffic controller says that you are delayed by 30 minutes, so now you have to wait for another slot for 45 minutes.
में आ रहा हूं मैं just 5 minutes let's go
सर पर मैप तो 5 मिनट
तकनीकी खराबी के कारण विमान देरी से उड़ेगा। धन्यवाद।
okay let's go
आपकी देरी के कारण अब टेक ऑफ 45 मिनट देरी से होगा। आप लाइन में लास्ट हैं।
Oh.
So this is not something which I or you or we are talking around. This is something is a very known fact and recognized fact which even the Google has
brought it into the ad.
Yeah. So it
Okay.
seems that it is a genuine problem and it is happening around, right?
Got
It's not
that.
that you are saying or me or even the random passenger is talking about these issues, right?
I think end of the day, even pilots are human being and there's traffic for them as well, right? Possible.
Yeah, of course, it's
but then
possible.
from a
but
traveler
see,
standpoint, you are in pain because you are supposed to meet your client out there or attend the meeting out there, and hence you're traveling.
But it's not about the pilot being late. It's about in India, I personally really believe that this sector needs reformation.
Okay.
As you see that there are lots of, even though the airport look glamorous, right? Very sophisticated travel and all, but the assistance is missing. Real assistance is missing
Right,
at airport,
right.
right? Then there are other things which needs to be done in this sector, right? First thing is that the passenger right and the compensation
Right.
must be with respect to distance or the time, right?
Yeah.
Like it is in the Europe and the other part of the
Sure,
world, right?
sure.
So that it is easy for the people to understand and to calculate, right?
Got it. Yeah.
Right. Now the another point is this. Now you see how many airlines are remaining in
Correct.
India.
Yeah.
Just a few.
Yes.
Just a few. Right?
Correct.
So the policies needs to be little structured and simplified in terms that the other players should also come and give a good competition.
So, Akanksha, let's get to your personal journey. You being a woman, you spoke of how you were discriminated back in your school days because you were not fair. You were out of the dance group, and you being a woman, you started a company and struggles around it. I would want to understand and slightly dig deeper on how did you build this strong psychology of facing these challenges and coming out and starting your own company, scaling it, and taking it out in the market, solving the problem. So, if you can help us, get deeper in Akanksha's mind, what is she, right? And how
Okay.
did she face and accept or fight back, either way, right? On all of these challenges.
It's in my gene. I can say it's in my DNA.
Okay.
Actually, being a daughter of a lawyer,
Sure.
and my mother has a kind of a brain tumor
Oh.
back when I was kid.
Okay.
My dad has a very major lungs operation, so health wise they're always struggling, right?
Okay.
And out of all those odds,
Sure.
I have seen a very positive side of them,
Awesome.
right? So since childhood, so our focus was, and we were in a kind of environment where we see the positive side of the things,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
And take a negative side of a thing as an experience, as a learning,
Awesome.
right?
Awesome. That's a very strong mindset, I would call it.
Right. So that is something, is a kind of ki is in my DNA.
Right.
And even not that, like when I was said that, yeah, because I was told that, yeah, you, because of the color, even my relatives, they talk about that. But
Okay.
I understand from where they are coming. No hard feeling for them,
Sure.
because I know the people back then were very concerned about the girls' marriage,
Sure.
right? And back then, even though the girls were very educated, but the people have that color ka factor attached to it.
Right. Right.
So I understand that from where they are coming. So
Sure.
they were right from their thought process and
Mhm.
whatever the knowledge they are having.
Right.
But me as a person, I never think myself as a gender kind of things, like, no, I'm a woman, or why I'm not a man,
Right.
right? I'm girl, why I'm not a boy. It never hit me.
Okay.
It never ever, because
Sure.
in my family, my father or my mother, they have never discriminated from that perspective.
Great. Great.
So it never came to our mind that
Awesome.
it's a woman or it's a woman versus men.
Right.
Even I used to leave my school bus just to take my bicycle to go to school.
Okay.
And my father, he was fine with it,
Awesome. Okay.
right? So, yeah, and that is where, like, of course, Sitamarhi is a very small place, right? Very small city. So
Yeah.
it is not so common there, not
Yeah.
at all common there, even that point of time.
Right.
So I say, and the most important thing is that I give this credit again to my parents, my brother, and so they are always like they always see me as a like मुझे दीदी जैसा बनना है. So
Oh.
I feel ki I have a follower like my little brother and sister, right? So
Yeah.
so that also has motivated me.
Awesome.
Most of the time, my brother, especially, he keeps saying ki, no, you do this, I'm there,
Right. Right.
right? So rather than he said ki, no, let me do this for you, he
Okay.
keeps saying, you do this, I'm here,
Awesome. Yeah.
right? Whatever will happen, we'll see that.
Right.
So that is again the another perspective of it. I am from a place where the kids were known by their parents' name, right?
Okay.
In that scenario, my parents used to be happy when somebody called them like as a father of Akanksha or a mother of Akanksha. So
Awesome.
rather than me being known as a daughter of this particular lawyer or so,
Yeah.
so that has also motivated me somewhere.
Nice, nice,
Right.
nice.
So the challenges are, and I am a person who try to figure out the solutions, like
Nice.
how I should take a solution.
So you always have that focus towards moving forward and being positive
Yeah,
instead of taking things in a negative manner.
things, and as I said, like, I'm not scared of anything. I don't know why, but I don't know like why this happened to me, but I'm
As
not
you say,
scared.
it is in DNA.
It's in my DNA. I feel that whatever will happen, we'll see that.
I think
Second-
it's listening to you. I believe it's not probably DNA, but otherwise the kind of ecosystem also that you got, right?
Right.
Your parents, your brother and sister, all of them supporting you and they drawing inspiration from you, kind of probably also pushed you towards becoming that strong person. Is how I see it.
Yeah, and even the colony there. So the
Yeah.
colony I was living in, when I passed 10th and I was seeing other girls there, they're saying, no, Anshu Didi used to go school by, my nickname is Anshu by the way. So Anshu Didi used to go school by cycle, so why don't we go? Right?
Nice, yeah.
So that has also motivated me somewhere. Yeah, people, so they're small little kids and they're my fan base.
Right.
They're and if I will do something good, they will follow. They
So
will
you're
do this.
setting benchmarks
Yeah.
since your childhood.
Yeah. So I was so happy to do so.
Sure.
So I always get that I have to do this. I have to get at that label where they have something to get inspired of, right?
Inspiring.
And one thing is that is acceptance, which I say even to my team also, and to everybody means who came and who used to come and talk to me. Acceptance in your life is very important.
Right.
So if I have certain drawbacks,
Yeah.
rather than putting it under the carpet, I should accept it.
Get that.
Right? And I should
Sure.
work on it.
Understood.
Right?
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm an emotional person.
Oh.
So,
You don't seem like that, by the
yeah,
way.
but yeah. So, and very transparent. I never lie to myself.
Sure.
And I believe that is very important thing.
Right.
And that is where the acceptance is important.
Get that.
Right?
Yeah.
So I keep telling, like, the emotion is from two words, energy and motion, right? So if I feel bad about anything, even till today, if I feel bad about anything, I cry, right? And I say, Akanksha, now it's enough. You are happy, you are good to go, and then get to the work.
Awesome.
Rather than putting it something in my mind and showing myself as a strong personality. So first thing, I never see myself as a woman or man or to anybody else. I see myself as how skilled I am.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Second thing, I'm very open to accept my drawbacks.
Sure.
And I accept it.
So you know what is your strength, what is your weakness,
Yeah,
all
weakness.
of that. Okay.
Right? And if you'll say something, ki, Akanksha, I feel that this is something you need to work on, right? I'll go back, I will analyze myself that whatever he's saying, rather than getting demotivated out of it,
Yeah.
if I feel that yes, there is 1% also, or 0.01% is a chance to get myself upgraded, I'll definitely work on it.
Get that.
And I will go and thank you that person later on.
Sure.
Rather than keeping that attitude, no, I am all too good, I don't need to upgrade myself. No.
Right.
It's not that way.
So you're quite open on the feedback side that way.
Right.
Okay.
I'm quite open with that. But having said that, I don't take the feedback as it comes. No.
Okay.
I analyze it with my own situation, because see, I believe that whatever the feedbacks a person is giving to me, by considering a one circumstance or two or three situations, but I know that I'm in 10 other situations.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So my decision is based on that 10
situations that
situations, right? Similarly, I say that people say that, okay, what all mistakes you have done in your career, on your life journey, and all. I say no. I have not done any mistakes. Right. Why I say this? Because I feel that when I say this as a mistake,
Mm-hmm.
it will somewhere demotivate me.
Right.
That's my way of processing the thing.
Got it.
So, and I believe that if I am taking any decision right now,
Mm-hmm.
of course, anybody who takes the decision,
Yeah.
that the person takes the decision in that moment,
Right.
he use or he utilize or he or she utilize
Right.
all his resources available,
Got it.
right?
Got it.
So later on, if that has to be upgraded or that has to be changed for some
Right.
reason, or
Yeah.
that goes wrong for some reason,
Right.
then it comes with a learning.
Hmm.
And if you say that, okay, today I have taken some other that decision, if I would be like after 2 days, I can say, okay, I may have think it of this way. But that has come with my learning and experience,
Understood.
right?
Understood.
So if I am taking a decision with my conscious brain, why I'm saying this is a mistake? It is not a
Yeah.
mistake,
Got it. Got it.
right? I am matured. Day by day, I am learning the things.
Right.
I am upgrading myself, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
keep it as a learning and
Right.
move ahead with that,
Got it.
right? And one more important thing which has helped me in terms of building and keeping myself very strong mentally is that I never judge a people. I
Right.
judge the situation.
Nice.
My mother
Nice.
keeps saying one word, इंसान बुरा नहीं होता है, व्यवहार बुरा होता है,
Okay.
right? So that is something is again I have taken from there,
Right.
that if you are behaving differently,
Right.
it's just because you are influenced by certain situations,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
So the person is good, but his behavior is such because of the situations that he has faced in life.
Right.
Okay.
Or in certain duration, and that is why we say the change is the only constant. So maybe you are not sharing a good bond with certain person at this time,
Yeah.
but there is always a chance that you will share in future.
Possible. Yeah. Yeah. It
Right.
keeps changing, right? Sometimes you're good with somebody today, and tomorrow it changed.
Right.
Things are not working together.
Right.
Right. At the same time, sometimes you don't share a good bond today, but eventually there will be a situation where you actually built a good bond at a later point in time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I never go with the noise.
Mm-hmm.
Ki if somebody comes and say, oh, this person is not good, that person is not
Right.
good, you should not do business with this person,
Right. Right.
or you should not do business with that person, I
Yeah.
never take this.
Understood.
My point is that let me analyze the person
By myself. Awesome. Awesome.
right? So that has helped me a lot.
Okay.
Second thing, even a person is not nice to me, I leave it with that particular moment,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
I'll never carry it further.
Got that.
And when I never carry it further, then my mind is like empty. Means there is no burden, na?
Yeah.
If I see that, okay,
You
that
don't feel
man
that
is
stress of it.
if that person is wrong, he has done this wrong, right?
Yeah.
If I say the person was wrong, right, then my mind is like it's running in my mind, and I will be stressed out of it.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But when I'm releasing it, I'll remember it when something similar will happen.
Got it.
Okay? Then I will take the reference from that particular situation, and in that situation I'll act it. So
Got
that
it.
is called the learning
Understood.
and experience, and that is why I say that I never do mistakes.
Yeah.
Having said
yeah.
that, like,
So whatever you took decision then is because of the circumstances and what you felt is right.
yeah, मेरी समझ उस समय पे उतनी ही थी.
Right. Makes
ठीक है.
sense. Makes sense.
My understanding at that point of time was limited to that decision.
Got that.
Now,
yeah.
since I have seen much more, my
have
decision is
evolved.
different.
Yeah. Got
So
it.
I believe nothing is wrong, nothing is right, no
Got it.
decision is wrong,
Got
no
it.
decision is right.
So, Akanksha, I would want to understand the kind of challenges that you faced as a women entrepreneur, right? And maybe you would have thought if I was a guy, while you said you don't think like that, but definitely there would be people who would maybe given you a feeling, right? If I was a guy, this would have been maybe easy or something like that. Is there a situation like that, or
See, there are many times when I have not been just commented for my gender. Okay, this is not for you. This is for a boy. Right. I was an athlete.
okay?
I was running for 1600 meter. Right.
Oh, okay.
And that practicing in very midsummer season during the daytime and all.
Right.
I was a table tennis player also. Right?
Okay.
So the point is this, that even and I have been also mocked for my color
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
several times. So it's not just the gender, there are several things, but trust me, not a single time, not for a second,
Hmm.
it came to my mind that why I'm not fair,
Okay.
why I'm not guy. Yeah, see, that is what I said, the acceptance.
Yeah.
This is something I cannot change,
Yeah.
right?
No, I am trying to understand the situation. I understood because by now you established that you're very confident, and probably the anecdotes that you said or
If you
the
would
examples
have
that you
talked
said.
to me like 10, 15 years back, you could have seen the same confidence. I'm telling you this.
Yeah, I can still get that passion with which you are answering this, right? I can completely relate. Having said that, I want to genuinely understand the problems that you faced, maybe as a woman, and you thought this was easy, this would have been easy if I was a guy, anything like that.
See, as I said, to my mind, I have never thought of it.
Okay.
Never ever.
Sure.
I'm not sure. See, this question now I keep asking myself also. Even I ask these questions from some mentors of mine also. Right? Why I don't get scared? Like even at ISB, I was listening to so many founders who are coming to guide us or give us the lectures for certain topics and all. And then the people were no, we are scared as a founder and we don't take this step and that step. And to be honest, matlab, I have never ever it came to my mind that if why not I'm my complexion is like white, right? Or why I am a woman. I never
Right.
think of it.
Right.
Though I have a challenges.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
not that I'm born with a silver spoon. No, not at all.
Right.
Right? I have earned this. So
Get
if you
that.
say that in this 15 years of my career, I have almost worked for 18 hours a day.
Whoa.
I hardly sleep for 4 and 5 hours.
How do you manage it?
I do that. I have programmed myself even to be very precise
It
and
might come on to your
efficient.
health, Akanksha. You
No,
got to be careful.
so the point is that, see, it's not bad sleeping 4 hours. 4 to 5 hours of a good sleep. See,
Sure.
it depends upon how healthy your sleep is.
Quality of sleep, you mean?
Quality of sleep. So if I'm working like 18 hours a day, I'm so tired.
Yeah, you
So
forget
tired.
everything when you sleep.
Yeah. So if I sleep for 4 hours, for 3 hours, for 5 hours, I'm just sleeping,
Got it.
right?
Yeah.
So that has helped. Even Sadhguru has said several times that he also sleep for 3, 4, 5 hours.
I sleep less, but not definitely 3 hours. If I don't sleep anything beyond, minimum is 5 hours that I need.
No,
Anything less
4
than
hours.
that, then the next day is screwed up for me. And then I start realizing my decision making is going wrong, or I'm not the slight bit of headache or something like that. That I realize because I kept traveling a lot during my earlier days, as I said, right? Early morning flights, and every single time I had less than 5 hours sleep, I realized that's going bad. So
This
sleep
has
is very
happened
important.
with me also. When I joined here the ISP,
Sure.
right? So this has happened and it has a very adverse effect on my health also.
Okay.
Okay.
That's why I was
So,
saying you
yeah,
have to
yeah,
take
it
care of
has
that.
happened. It has happened. So here when I came, my schedules were very strict.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And what happened, the nightlife is quite crazy, right?
Mhm.
So
When you say nightlife is crazy, what do you mean?
means the parties and the sounds
Okay.
and all.
Oh,
Actually, we
you're a
have
party
just
person.
no. I'm not a party person.
Okay.
So what happened when I joined here, ISB? So of course the people wake up work at late night,
Right.
right? So
Right.
most of the people have a habit of doing so, and we were the new batch, so people were in a party mode kind of that time.
Yeah.
So that was the time when I have not slept for more than an hour in like 1 month.
Oh,
So it
unreal.
was, yes, it was so bad, and it has affected my thought process also.
Got it.
I got a stress also. I keep getting frequent, fevers and all.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, sleep is very, very important.
Sure.
Very, very important, right?
Yeah.
But then the quality of sleep is also important.
Fair enough.
So
Fair
for
point.
me, if I am working like a more than 15, 16, 18 hours, right? I'm so tired by then. Okay, that 4 hour of sleep for me is a real sleep.
Got it.
Real sleep.
Got it. Great, Akanksha. Akanksha, so we are kind of coming to an end of it now. So I usually do this, right? Before closing, I will ask you, is there a question that I have not asked you and you think I should have asked you?
I must say that you have touched upon every aspects of my journey.
Okay.
So you did a great job, by the way.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. So for now, I don't see that you have missed anything.
Right.
Because
So before moving on to the question, probably this question, what is this that you're doing in ISB right now?
okay, so
So you started a company,
ISB
because this question again, out of curiosity, you started a company back in 2016 and you're running it till now with two other co-founders. And now ISB people usually, I had a couple of guests from ISB who were sort of 10 years old, pass outs or something like that. Whenever I spoke to any of the ISBNs, and I myself have gone to ISB for a program, whenever I spoke to any of those people who passed out of ISB, opinion was that you don't need any degree for a business. If you're wanting to do business, just go out there and start, right? MBA is not necessary as long as you have that clear mindset that you want to start, right? Unless you're wanting to get into a job, is when you think of MBA. But it's good to have, not must have. Yeah.
so many questions in one question. Yeah. When I planned to start my business, MBA was in my plan.
Sure.
Right. I was frequently attending the IIM Bangalore classes, guest lecture classes, and all. Was planning to get there.
Right.
I was so
right.
inspired. As
Sure.
I said, my best friend is also
Yeah,
on
yeah.
that. So then what happened, like when last year I was informed, again my co-founder, the new co-founder on board. So I shared with him that when I started my journey, my plan was to graduate from some
B
very
school.
renowned B school, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I say ki, as you said, I just wanted to capture that point. You said ki degree is not important. See, it's not just about the degree we go to such good colleges.
Right.
It's about the connection.
Network.
It's about the mindset. It's about the other learning apart from your actual bookish
Right,
knowledge.
right,
That is
right.
very important.
Right.
And that is very different there.
Right.
Since I am in ISB now, I am experiencing it.
Hands down, I agree with your point. In fact, the marketing book that we have, Philip Kotler remains same across.
Exactly.
How you use it is what difference it makes, and who's teaching you that is what makes the difference.
Right.
Yeah.
And ISB has started all thanks to Professor Madan Pilutla, Dean, to Professor Bhagwan, and to Soumya. to start with this kind of a program at ISV where they are nurturing the startups. I must say that every startup, I doesn't matter at which stage you are right now.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you have never been to any MBA college so far, please go and experience it,
Right.
because even if you are doing the same thing, for my case I was doing exactly the same things there, but even if you're doing the same thing, you will get so many different perspective
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
it,
Right.
right?
Right.
The right set of terminologies, which is very important, right?
Yeah.
Plus experiencing the campus
Yeah.
is another level of
You basically get the exposure is what you mean to say, right?
not just the exposure. I have discovered here myself in a way.
Oh.
So one thing, I'm really very grateful to these three people, as I mentioned here. Apart from the classes, right, the knowledge and everything, you know, I had a couple of conversation with Professor Sudhir Voletti. He was data science and AI marketing professor there. When I was talking with him, he has given me a very much different perspective of looking into my data, Refundme's data,
Oh, yeah.
and has opened so many doors that how I can monetize these,
Awesome. Awesome.
right?
Yeah.
So this is something you will not get anywhere else,
Get that.
right?
Get that.
Not that. From a very personal front, and as a human, I was a person who never talk about anything negative,
Yeah.
right? So even if somebody is doing wrong to me, somebody is talking wrong about me, or whatever it is, I never go and discuss that.
Get that.
But here at ISP, I was taught to understand the importance of talking about your sufferings also.
Oh, yeah.
So I was never a person suffering. Just say, for example, when I felt initial days of challenges here, I was not able to sleep for a month around, right? And I was getting like all these health issues.
Sure.
I was not opening up myself. I was
Yeah,
not discussing it, right?
Right.
But then slowly with my cohort and the other PCP people and the other team members, I can say other from ISP. So everyone has then their suggestions and all. I said, no, I need to upgrade myself.
Sure.
I need to talk about my sufferings also. Why? Because that is building my reputation.
Nice.
So what we do as a person, we keep doing the hard work and we keep ignoring the noise. But sometimes it is equally important
Right.
that you shut those noise,
Yeah.
right? And as an entrepreneur, it is very important. And it is one of the personal lesson I have learned at ISP, and I believe it is going to help me throughout my life journey.
Nice. Awesome. So before we close this, Akanksha, any last piece of advice for those who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs or wanting to be entrepreneurs, whether they are in the full-time career or they are a student and wanting to start? What's that advice that you have for them?
First of all, I would like to say that judge yourself as a human, right? Judge your own quality, your skills, your passion, right? Don't do anything just because rest of the world is doing,
Right.
right? So there, I always say that if certain person is not working in a great way in my company, like not contributing much to my company, it doesn't mean that he or she cannot contribute to some other company.
Yeah. True.
Right?
True.
So
True.
having said that, like it's very important for us as a human
Yeah.
to analyze ourselves, to judge ourselves,
Got it.
and then take a decision. that you want to be an entrepreneur or you want to be with job.
Right.
Now, there are other layer of judgment which person needs,
Yeah.
which is that what sort of responsibility the person has.
Right. Very rightly
Right.
said. Yeah.
And is there any chance that the person has any way of working around it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So,
Yeah.
for example, I have seen myself also the financial constraint and all of that, right? But then I figured out that if I know that no, I am good at this.
Mm.
If I'm good at taking a job and I want to take a job in some other country and with some very renowned company,
Yeah.
then I will try to create my strategy around it,
Sure.
not just directly jump on it,
Yeah.
right? And before seeing my strengths, I'll also see my weaknesses. And
Okay.
first I'll work on that.
Right. Right.
So that is why judgment is important.
Sure.
And then you take your decision.
Great.
So,
Great.
and never ever lie to yourself.
Mm.
Because I personally believe that the day I lie to myself, I
Yeah.
will be dead.
Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Being honest to yourself is very, very important.
It's a very important thing.
Right. In fact, I want to recall this point, right? Anybody who's wanting to start should evaluate their current position and take a cautious call. Technically, if you want to start, just go out and start instead of double thinking and
Yeah,
all
exactly.
that, right? Because it's a journey, it's a process, and you get to learn over a period of time, and you will anyway keep iterating. Because a lot of companies that started, they didn't start with the straight road.
Exactly.
They start,
exactly.
they tweak, they don't change the model, and they keep evolving, and that's how they build the big names that we see today, right? Yeah, I think thanks for that piece of advice, Akanksha, and
Thank
thanks
you
for
so
your
much.
time and coming on to the show. Thank you.
So much for inviting me here. It was great to know you also and your journey also. And I wish you all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you,
you.
Akanksha.
Yeah.